What is up, guys? I'm back here with another video this week, and in today's video I'm going to actually share with you exactly how you can get people to come back to your website once they already visited your website once in 3 different ways. If you guys want to learn some quick SEO tips to get people to come back to your website after they already made a visit once, then be sure to keep on watching. Tip number 1 is to have remarketing ads. And the reason why I always recommend remarketing ads is because of this one example. Say that you have a consumer. They're going through your website, maybe the first page is your landing page or home page. Then they go to the info page to learn more about you. Then they go to the pricing page, and then they go to the checkout page. And this is where they're kind of near on the fence of like, do I want to buy this product? I'm not really sure. And then they exit out of your page. And from this point on, this is where the remarketing ad would really come into play, because your marketing ad would show up on maybe a social media platform, another website, as a form of a way to get people to go back to where they were initially. And I know that I've already talked about this process before, but one thing that I do want to mention that I haven't mentioned in the past is that you want your messaging to be different from each other. So just taking a few steps back to the example that I brought up, say that in your landing page or your checkout page, it was maybe very emotional, thought-provoking, very detailed. So at this point, you really want your remarketing ads to be the opposite of that. You don't want it to be very similar, because in their head, they're already thinking about the emotional and the thought-provoking aspect of your offer from your landing page alone. So having a very logical, straightforward, price sensitive, because having prices featured on your remarketing ads is a very straightforward and more logical way of approaching ad, which will maybe catch people off guard and have people thinking even more about whether or not they want to purchase. And this is where you really get people to actually purchase products, because initially people might, think of it as an emotional product, and and if they see an emotional ad, they're not going to be like, oh, that really caught my attention. So what you really want to do is do the opposite. And what I just mentioned is maybe providing a price, have some very neutral, logical messaging as a great way to get people back into the process and in the final checkout page as well from the result of your remarketing ad. Tip number 2 that I have for you guys is to really utilize your CRM or even email marketing platform. And the reason why I highly recommend this is because of this, and this. And these are just some of the examples that I've gotten over the past year of some really great ways of how people really caught my attention through email marketing campaigns. So they know that I've maybe opened a initial email from the very first time that they sent it, and then they followed up again, and then they followed up again. So there is a kind of like a limit to how many emails you can send a person, and it can kind of get annoying after a while. But definitely doing it once or twice really wouldn't hurt you for, your sake of the business, to really remind people of your offer, what you're doing, and why you really believe they would really benefit from your offer as well. Tip number 3 is to have seriously informative content. And what I mean by informative content is actually breaking it up into 2 main buckets. So we have the consistent content, and then we also have the time-based content. And so with the consistent content, this is kind of very similar to something that I mentioned in a previous video, but pretty much if you're uploading every Sunday, or maybe every Thursday and Tuesday, or every Wednesday, every weekend. So having this consistent schedule is a really good indication to your online user, especially if you're doing this for the very first time, as a good indication of when they should be expecting content on your page. And so you don't necessarily have to email them all the time, because again, they will have it ingrained in their head that you're posting on every Sunday, every Tuesday and Thursday, and so forth. And with time-based content, this is kind of primarily around the idea that you're putting content and having a deadline around it. So this is kind of more catered towards around contests that you have online, or even submissions, webinars that people have to sign up for. So having this kind of deadline where people have to sign up by X amount of date will really persuade people to either sign up for something, learn something, click something, like something, comment something, anything that was really your action. It will really get them really heightened and excited about your certain offer or message that you're trying to bring across on your online marketing channels. Alright guys, so those are my 3 quick tips to actually getting people to come back to your website after they already visited once. So if you guys did like this content in this video, be sure to hit that like button and also the notification button, because I post videos here every Sunday on all things online marketing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.